From the National Council of Water Supply, it's observed that the state governments and some other tiers of government neglect the mandate for water supply. So what actually went wrong in this whole supply chain?
Well, the point is, the Constitution has made it very clear. Water supply is not the purview of federal government. The federal government does not own a water board, except for FCT, which is also under the Federal Capital Territory Administration. So it is really not our business to run water schemes in this country. And the federal government cannot be in every community. That's why you have subnational governments. You have states and local governments. But having said that, it's because of this kind of problem that we organize this retreat. First of all, to bring to the attention of this state government that this is how bad you are faring on issues of water supply and sanitation. And then to rub minds to see how we can improve it. It seems the 2000 policy, you know, the year 2000 water policy that allows for this joint financing has not been working. So we need to look at other means. And we also understand the economic situation of the country. We know that we don't have the sound industrial base in this country to manufacture water supply equipment. And these are very, very expensive. You have to import them. And whatever budget that we have, the combined budgetary allocation for the states and the federal government will not meet the SDG targets.
From your statement now, is this an indifference to the commitment of the 30% access to water supply as mandated on the federal government to the Nigerians?
There is nothing dismissive about it. All what we are saying, the states must first of all be alive to their responsibilities. If they are alive to their responsibilities, federal government will come in and help. But federal government cannot be in every community. We have to prioritize. We have to look at those projects that can be done. And don't forget, federal government has been guaranteeing loans for many states, including Lagos, Kano, all of it. They've been guaranteeing loans from World Bank, from African Development Bank. These are efforts that federal government has been doing. What we are saying, federal government cannot have the answer to the solution for every community in this country. The rest, the state governments and the local governments must be alive to their responsibility. They must prioritize water and sanitation. If they don't take it as a priority, they are doing other things, then we cannot achieve this target. We have to stop paying lip service to SDGs, to all these things. Let us put our money where our mouth is, and let's do the work. Most states don't do any planning. Water schemes, urban water schemes require years of gestation. If you want to do a new 20 million gallon per day treatment plant in Abuja, the planning alone, the design, will take you at least a year to do all the community, all the demand analysis, and then go to do all the technical design. Then it is going to take you like 2-3 years to implement the project. But most of the state governments are only doing quick fixes because everybody is looking at 4 years horizon. He wants to show something for an election. And water is for life.
When you say quick fixes, what exactly are you referring to?
Boreholes, small potable water schemes, that's what they do. Municipal water supply is a city like Kano or Lagos or Abuja cannot survive on boreholes. When you have rivers around that you can harness, you can build a multi-million liter treatment plants and get it piped to the people. And don't forget, even the schemes that we have now, if you really go down and check, many of them, if you check the quality of the water at the delivery point, it's not even potable.
Then what should be the exact standard to follow?
Well, the standards for drinking water are there. Before now we used to have the World Health Organization standards, but we have our own national standards now.
Now, in terms of monitoring now, you must have gone around to discover that many of these projects are quick fixes and substandard. So what did you do? What's your responsibility in terms of monitoring of these projects?
Like I said, I want to repeat again, we don't own any water board. We don't own any water scheme. It is entirely the business of the states. What we can do is this thing, what we are doing now, advocacy. Tell them what they need to do. Where we can support, we'll support. The mandate of my ministry is to provide bulk water. And that's why we build all the dams for them to tap this water and treat. They employ the people and everything, but we helped also to shape policy. For instance, we're trying now to champion, we realize states cannot They don't even have the capacity these days to run these schemes. And water is an economic commodity. So states must let go all these agencies and allow the private sector to come in.
Some experts have called for a review of the national water policy. Is this the way to go?
We are talking of restructuring these days. We are saying the federal government is too big. And already the Constitution has provided where the responsibilities are. How can the federal government in Abuja control 36 water boards? It doesn't make sense. And I don't want to be preemptive. All the federal government can do is to try to support capacity building, support this financing through guarantees with the banks. And then we're also working on the National Water Resources Bill, which effectively will provide for regulation so that private sector participation can emerge. That is all we can do. But how much can the federal government put in?
What exactly is responsible for the state's government not meeting up to the 60% mandate of providing access to potable water supply and adequate sanitation to Nigerians?
Finance. They are not financing. They are not planning. I've said it. A government comes, maybe a government has 4 years lifespan and maybe at best 8 years. But everybody is rushing to show some results before the 4 years. And there is nowhere where you have a city of 500,000 people or 1 million people that you can do a water scheme in 1 or 2 years. It's very, very difficult. If you want to do a proper scheme from the source to treatment to distribution, it's not possible. So that's why I'm talking about these quick fixes. So instead of going and building something that will last, and then also doing it in stages in such a way that as the population is growing, when you plan for the population growth. What is happening is that the population has outstripped existing capacity, installed capacity in everything. But if you have a plan, normally for a water scheme, you plan for 30 years. You do the first 15 years, you implement. Within those 15 years, you are now ready to go to the second phase. Before the end of the second phase, you're already looking for other alternatives. You have 30 years to plan, but people don't want to do that. The political class doesn't want to do that. They want quick fixes, and therefore they go for boreholes that they can drill, in a few days and provide some water. All these temporary measures will not take us anywhere. We need to sit down and really think seriously about the sector and plan.
You may also join in this conversation by sending us your comments on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. Coming up in Question Time, setting the record straight on Nigeria's sanitation and potable water demands.